This is Justin for Monday, January 9th, 2023. Taking a look at SPY. Today we had a bullish retest gap. We did have a continuation higher. Right out the gate, we had a bull candle followed by two bear candles, and right away we had a bear candle closing above the 10. And this can be your setup. Go bullish above that candle, stop below the 10 EMA, and right here could be your risk. So let's go look at that on one of the options. Let's go see the 390 call. Hey, look, that kind of matches up pretty well. Could probably tighten up the stop a little bit more than that. So if we go, actually entry could be a little lower and stop could be a little closer, maybe like that on the option. So probably like 1.4 is your entry, and then like maybe 0.9 would be your stop. So that is 0.5 per contract. And so you get two contracts with $100 risk. Really nice move, bullish. Your target here with 1.2R. Now I'd say just let it run a little bit more because we had such a strong day on Friday. But your target would be 2. And we actually would have hit that on this candle there. There's 2. You did kind of have some other opportunities here to maybe get into something else. We were a little bit higher than the option shows, just the way that the option moves differently than the stock. So you did actually have bear candle here. This one's kind of on the fence. Technically, yes, it closes below, which would kind of negate the trade, but you could set it up again to go bullish either above this one or wait for another bear candle. That would be this one. Or you actually played this one and got triggered in above, or this one, or this one. So a number of bear candle setups to make this work. And then we have something happen on the reverse. So we ran up, and then we kind of did some slowing down. So this was really steep, and then we went sideways. And then it was steep again, and then kind of started to go sideways longer. And you started to go back and forth over the 10. Whenever it's doing that and it's had a big run, it's like, okay, let's see. Okay, here's a bear candle. I'm sorry, a bull candle closing below 10. We don't get to move below that before we get back above. Here's a bull candle closing below the 10. And you could comfortably have a stop probably right in here, ideally a little higher. And let's go look at what the options we're doing now, because we're looking at a put. I got to turn those off, and we'll go look at the 393 strike put. So this candle was at 1109. So you're looking for a move past the 1109 candle. So that 1109 was this one. So here's the bear candle. So the high was 1.03. 1.05 would be a nice move past. So let's look for an entry at 1.05 that would have filled on this candle. And then your stop. This is where, you can play around with where exactly your stop is going to be. 0.5 would actually be at a 0.5 risk would be down at 0.55. Let me say that differently. 1.05 is the entry. 0.55 could be your stop, and that is you could get 2 of those contracts then for a full $100 risk. Your stop could be easily moved tighter after it starts to go, like with this candle. Or you could start out your stop tighter, but you are risking getting stopped out. So I think comfortably would have been below this lower wick at 0.55. Otherwise, maybe like 0.75, and you're into 3 contracts. I don't think you could do 0.8. That's just really right below the bear candle. And it's just so much more likely you're going to get stopped out at that price, and then just like a wick out, and then you're done. But if you did get in at 1.05 and a stop at 0.8, in this case it would have worked. I don't recommend that. And you could have done 4 contracts if you had done it that way. I think 2 or 3 contracts would have been more conservative, and actually trading according to how the chart is set up here. And then this is one, because we had such a large move up on Friday, and we're reversing way up here at a previous, we had the levels in here that were support when they were hitting the 100, punched through the 100, now the 100s went on here. This level isn't really a great level anymore. I mean, it could act as old support, new resistance. This is the first time we're actually retesting these candles here. This was, let's see, the lows are pretty close to each other in the 393 range. We actually got up to 393.70, but it makes sense to reverse at this level. And we're waiting for not just the reversals to come in and, like it's starting to go. We've got the 10 EMA setup telling us we've rested enough. We're back below the 10. We had some, technically this one could have triggered here. Actually it did trigger the very next candle. So you could also look at the 1036. That was the option. Yeah, that was when I was saying that didn't work. Okay. This is a different color candle when you're looking at the call versus the stock. Okay. If that candle was different, you could have actually gotten embarrassed there. So you got to wait till 1109. So I was right. And then we start to roll down. Any of these places we're getting into this previous level that held going up could be targets going down. So in this case, it probably would be much better to look for a previous level or to just trail your stop all day. In this case, we ended up with a bearish daily candle, which means that, and again, just with how the option moves, it wasn't guaranteed to be past this pivot, but today we did go way past that pivot. So even just consider you bought around 1.05, and you held it till later in the day. The high over here was above 5. If you're into 2 contracts and you had gotten out of one of them, maybe at the 1.2R, you're up a few R, at least a couple of Rs, with this kind of a move today. These can be amazing days if you just get into the trade the first time you see one of those candles, like this one here. That was the first candle. It worked out the best. There were other opportunities to get in later. They worked as well. With the bull candles setting up, we had some other opportunities later. This one, nope, that would not have worked. I said there's opportunities later. This one was great. Like look at the setup here, right here. So let's go look at what that setup could have been, bearish. So this is 1227. We look at 1227, that's this candle. So we want to move past that. So that's getting in at 1.6 and a stop down at 1.1. That'd be, again, 0.5 risk. And so you can get into 2 contracts. And it, again, very quickly moved up. Let's see, you could definitely take profit around 2 or 2.1 or a little bit past that at this level, previous level of the option. We did actually come back down and retest that on this candle, those candles, and bounced. So it was this where we retested back to about a 1 hour gain, but then it did roll back down on the SPY. And so let's see, so this candle, and then gave you another entry here at this candle. Both of these were after making some lower highs, and then I don't necessarily like drawing it like that, but you did get some compression with both of these. I will always want to connect more than just 2 points. Like this is really just connecting 2 things. This is kind of relative low here, and then it makes a higher low before it breaks. Well, just with this compression is all I mean. It didn't actually make a higher low. I don't count that as a higher low. Anyway, but you got some compression. You got some larger candles that came in. So like here's the larger candle, here's a larger candle, here's a larger candle, then the other ones around. So you got, just a bigger movement, not necessarily more volume. This one, where's that? One of these, whichever one it is. It's not necessarily more volume or significantly more volume, just moved further. It took out a level, that kind of thing. That's one of the reasons that we're seeing a bigger move. So when that candle came in, you're taking out that low, you're taking out this low, you're getting back into that level. And then when this one comes in, you're taking out this. This lower wick did get past this level. So with this bear candle here, this one I already pointed at right here, you're actually taking out all of that support that looked like it was coming in. Some people were looking to, buy this and trade it back up, continue higher like we did on Friday. And it was already reversing. Then you had some flat candles. So like open and close are the same price. And this could also be setups here where you're getting in, with an entry there, and these just continue to roll over. So you ended up having 1, two, here's even a third one. High wave candle right there, bullish on the 10 EMA, and it would have worked to actually play that candle to go bearish. So the 10 EMA is working. There's a few different times that it worked bullish and bearish today. When you get that compression in there, you get some consolidation. Look for those to really work out well, and you can make some really good money going bullish with the calls and going bearish with the puts. Just wait on the setups. If you wait for those setups to come in, because then you're not guessing at it, you're not picking the direction, you're waiting for the candle to form and then waiting for it, to move in that direction, and you're in. And pretty much this moved directionally, and it moved up until it was showing reversals. We didn't have any false 10 EMA breaks. I'm on the call again. This one, if this was a bull candle, that would have triggered here, but you would need your stop up here. So this one, let me draw what I'm saying. So if that was a bull candle right here, you got in, you were triggered in on this candle, you really needed your stop way up here. And there's a chance with the option you could have been wicked out. That's the only, false break that you maybe could have had, but that was a bear candle, and so it didn't actually give you the setup. So you did have to actually wait. So there weren't really any false breaks, that kind of thing. If you were getting bullish into this one, yeah, you got triggered in and then it didn't work. But I mean, you missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You missed a lot of other opportunities after it's run up quite a bit. Don't get into those. Just wait for the rest, or wait for it to reverse, those kinds of things. Anyway, hope this helps. This is Justin. Thanks.